यदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to our Saturday and Sunday discussion on Sri Harinam Chintamani. Yesterday we completed the third chapter of Sri Harinam Chintamani, that is Namabhas Vichar, which is one of the most important chapters in the Sri Harinam Chintamani. And yesterday, after I had this discussion, and then I thought it is wise just to take a test of all the devotees who have been attending these classes to know how well you have understood Namabhas chanting, or sorry, Namabhas Avadi or Namabhas Vichar. So today we will begin our class with a small test. It's an online test, and devotees who would like to answer should raise their hands. So the first question, devotees first hear the question. Okay. So the first question is, which are the two types of Namabhas chanting? Hear the question very carefully. Which are the two types of Namabhas chanting? So there is one hand which is raised. Maya Narsimha Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it is Chaya Namabhas and Pratibhimba Namabhas.
No, I would like to be more precise.
It is Shraddha Namabhas, Ashraddha Namabhas.
Yes, that is more precise. Okay, so the answer is that there are two types of chanting. One is Shraddha Namabhas, and then there is Ashraddha Namabhas. Okay, so everyone will get a chance to answer. Which are the 4 types of Ashraddha Namabhas chanting? You can raise your hands. Which are the 4 types of Ashraddha Namabhas chanting? I hope everyone is online and participating in this very interesting subject. I would like to hear from others. Which are the 4 types of Ashraddha Namabhas chanting? Anyone else could like to answer? Anyone else? I would like to see anyone else raise their hand for this question. Which are the 4 types of Ashraddha Namabhas chanting? Okay, there is no one else. So then let me again ask Maya Narasimha Mulya. Yes, Maya Narasimha Prabhuji?
Sanketam, Parihasam, Sthobam, and Helanam.
Yes. Sanket, Parihasya, Stoba, and Hela or Helanam. Yes. Okay. Now, there is one more devotee who has raised his hand. Krishna Priya Mataji. Oh, no. Jasmine Mataji. 1 second. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
It is Sanket, Parihasya, Stobha, and Hela.
Yes.
Ashraddha Namabhas.
Yeah, Ashraddha Namabhas. Now, hold on. Now, which are the types of Sanket Ashraddha Namabhas chanting? Now, you only have to answer this.
Sanket, Ashraddha Namabhas, it could be the example of Ajamil, what we had discussed, and Yavanas when they chant, the
Yes.
way they chant.
The examples you have given is very clear, but how it is, these 2 different types in that Sanket Namabhas, you'll have to explain. How it is different from Ajamil's chanting of Sanket Namabhas and that of the Yavanas. How it is different. Anyone else would like to try? Birendra Yadav Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji, Ajamil's example is Ajamil knows that Narayan is Lord's name, but he indicated for his son. Whereas
Yes.
in case of Yavana, they don't know that they are calling Narayan's name, Hari name.
Yes, yes, very crystal clear. Excellent, excellent. Okay, now the next question is, which are the 2 types of Shraddha Namabhas chanting? Which are the 2 types? Prem. Where are you? Yeah, here. Yes, Prem.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. The 2 types of Shraddha Namabhas chanting are Chaya Namabhas and Pratibimba Namabhas.
Yes, Chaya Namabhas and Pratibimba Namabhas. Excellent. I think my life is successful. Okay, now the next question is, Pratibimba Namabhas chanting leads to, fill in the blank. Three rands, but again I'll give this chance to Prem. Yes, Prem.
It leads to inauspicious results.
Yeah, inauspicious results. Still, you can be something more specific. At max, what they can get, the highest, what the Namabhas.
At max, it will give impersonal liberation.
Yes, it is impersonal liberation. And what is the term Bhaktivinoda Thakur has used for that?
Sorry, not able to recall the exact term.
Okay. It is Mukti Abhas.
Yeah.
Mukti Abhas, yes. So others also have raised their hand, but we have, we have discussed this. Now, last question. We go through the stages of dash chanting to dash chanting to dash. Who would like to answer this? Yes, Jasmine Mataji. Yes, Mataji, I have unmuted you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, you can see here on the screen, we go through the stages of dash chanting to dash to dash.
It is from Ashraddha Namabhas to Shraddham Namabhas, then Namaprad, then again back to Chaya Namabhas.
Oh, not so complicated. We'll keep it still more simple. Okay, we'll keep it still more simple. Niranjan Prabhuji is there. Niranjan Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavata Pranam.
Yeah.
Prabhu, Namaprad chanting to Ashraddha chanting up to Shuddha Nam. Prem, Shuddha Prem.
No, not really. So keep it a little simple. We'll try to keep it simple. Anyone else? I kept it quite simple, I feel. And Maya Narasimha Prabhu, yes.
Prabhu, Namaparad to Namabhas, then to Shuddhanam.
Yes, we keep it that simple. Okay. So we go through the stages of Namaprad to Namabhas to Shuddhanam. Now, the question is not here, but now let me clarify a little more in detail. The question is not there, but let me clarify now and inform you that we might begin our contact with Krishna or Krishna consciousness either by chanting Ashraddhanamabhas, any of the four categories. The Vishnu Dutas, Ajamil, it was Sanket, Vishnu Lakshanakari, and he was fortunate to come in touch with the Vishnu Dutas where he got the Sambandh Gyan, and then he chanted Namaprad, went to Chaya Namabhas and took Shuddhanam. The Yavanas, they are lazy, they are highly materialistic. They just took Sanket Nam, Namabhas, and they attained liberation. They attained liberation. Or it can happen that we might be, just like travelers or some sincere people who have gone to the holy name, and there we hear from the mouth of a pure devotee Krishna Katha chanting like Srila Prabhupada, many heard in Tompkins Square Park. That chanting of Srila Prabhupada, when you play and hear, you can imagine what must have been the effect. So that pure devotees chanting when they come in touch, so it is in one sense, the faith is being given to them. So they also join the chanting. So somehow in that sense, it might be Shraddhanamabhas or a Shraddhanamabhas. Let's not go into it, but let us take it as Shraddhanamabhas. They feel a dim reflection of bhakti in their heart. And then they come in touch with Krishna consciousness, and then they take up to spiritual life. So it can be Chaya Namabhas, and then they go from Namaprad stage, come to Chaya Namabhas stage, and go to Shuddhanam. Or it can be another example, which I was giving yesterday or day before or last week, that a Mayavadi is also, taken up to the path of liberation. He comes in touch with the chanting of the holy names, or he might be chanting. In fact, once when I visited Vrindavan, on the shore of Yamuna, there was a Mayavadi ashram. just looking at them, I could feel that they are sick, really, because they are absorbed in Mayavad Darshan and they were taking the holy name. So such people who take the holy name, they take Pratibimb, Namabhas, that is in Shraddha Namabhas, they take Pratibimb Namabhas chanting. But if they come in touch with a pure devotee and get the right knowledge, so from there they go again to the progress or to the stage of Namaprad, to again Chaya Namabhas, and then Shuddha Nam. So this is how we should understand this whole flow of Namabhas chanting, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur has very nicely brought out. So we had this discussion in the chart. If you remember, I'm sharing the screen again. So this is all the stages. We go through Namaprad and then Namabhas and Shuddhanam, but devotees who come in touch with Sambandh Gyan, they go through Namaprad stage, then Chaya Namabhas and Shuddhanam. But initially when we come in contact, we might have Ashraddha Namabhas, any of these 4 categories, or we might come in contact with Chaya Namabhas. We might feel some ecstasy just coming in touch with the Dham, coming in touch with a pure devotee. And then that faith grows on when we start hearing those devotees and we take up to Krishna consciousness. So from that initial reflection of faith in the holy name from Chaya Namabhas, we go back to Namaprad. And after we have completely crossed the Namaprad stage, we come back to Chaya Namabhas and then go to Shuddhanam. The Mayavadis, they chant Pratibimba Namabhas, and they might, coming in touch with a pure devotee, give up that faulty philosophy, crooked philosophy. Then they will also go through this Namaprad stage, come to Chaya Namabhas, and from Chaya Namabhas come to Shuddha Nam. So this is now the discussion. And now since Namabhas, why it is discussed before discussing Namaprad is because somehow we come in touch with Namabhas chanting only initially. Initially, you all remember, devotees, when you took up to Krishna consciousness, that first few days of chanting, you felt as though you are liberated from this world, you have attained Krishna consciousness. So that dim reflection and that mercy also Krishna bestows. But now, as many years we are struggling, we are going through this Namaprad stage. So now from chapter 4 onwards, Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts discussing Namaprad. So let us begin now. Chapter 4, Namaprad, Sadhu Ninda. Satam Ninda Namna Paramam Aparadam Vitanute Yata Khyatim Yatam Katam Sahate Tad Vigariyam. Blasphemy to the great saintly persons who are engaged in preaching the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the worst offense at the lotus feet of the holy name. Satam Ninda Namna. Ninda is to the Vaishnavas. You are criticizing the Vaishnavas. But the Vaishnavas are preaching the glories of the holy name. So in that sense, it is offense to the holy name. Paramam Aparadam. It is one of the worst or the topmost offense we commit at the lotus feet of the holy name. Now, Nam is also a Prabhu, and Nam also has its lotus feet. So that's how we should treat Nam. And that is why while we are taking the holy name, it is non-different from the Lord. The Lord as a person is present in the form of the holy name. So that is why we should not have inattention while chanting. The Nama Prabhu, so here Nam is addressed as Prabhu, who is identical with Krishna, will never tolerate such blasphemous activities. Katam mu sahate. He will not sahan, he will not tolerate it, even if one passes as a great devotee. So text 1 to 3 is just an invocation verse, but the first offense Haridas Thakur or Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining. Gadadhara Prana Jaya Janava Jivan Jaya Sita Nata Shrivasadi Bhaktagan All glory to Lord Chaitanya, the life of Gadadhar, Gadadhara Pranajaya. All glory to Nityananda, the life of Janava Devi, Janava Jivan. All glory to Advaita, the husband of Sita, Jaya Sita Nath. Glory to Shivas and all the devotees of the Lord. Shiva Sadi Bhakta Gan. Prabhu Bole Haridas Eva Savistara Nama Prada Vyakhya Kara Atapara. Then Lord Chaitanya said, Haridas, please describe in detail the offenses to the holy name. Prabhu Bole, the Lord spoke. Explain in detail, describe in detail, Vistar, Nama Prada Vyakhya, the offenses to the holy name. Now Haridas starts speaking about the 10 offenses. This will go on from text 4 to 10. Haridas speaks first. Haridas bole Prabhu moraya bala be taha bolibe ami tomara prabhave. Haridas said, Lord, whatever you make me say, ya bola be, I will say by your power. Taha bolibe ami tomara prabhave. So just imagine the humility of Haridas Thakur. I will speak what you will inspire me to speak from my mouth. And this is the mood also of Ramanand Rai in the Ramanand Rai Samvad. You know, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu puts these questions to Ramanand Rai, I am just like a string. And my dear Lord, the way you move this string with your hand movements, I will play accordingly. So this is kind of the surrendered consciousness of the pure devotees. Nachao, nachao, nachao sei mate. Kastera putli, nachao sei mate. Srila Prabhupada brings out in his Markan Bhagavad Dharma when he wanted to, this is the first poem he composes when he reaches Boston. My Lord, make me dance. Nachao, nachao, make me dance as you want me to dance. Say mate, kastera putli, just like a puppet, you know, make me dance, and you are controlling that puppet. So Krishna's pure devotees are completely controlled by Krishna, and Krishna is completely controlled by his devotees. That is pure love and reciprocation what the pure devotees and Krishna have among each other. So this is how Haridas Thakur brings in the humility in text 3. Now 4 to 10, he starts describing first the 10 offenses. Dashavida Namaprad, the 10 offenses. Namaprada Dashavida Shastra Kahe, Se Aparade Mora Bada Hoya Boy. There are 10 kinds of offenses to the holy name. Dashavida Aparada Shastra Kahe. This the scriptures say. I greatly fear those offenses. Mora bada hoy bhoy. So we should always have a very, very healthy fear not to commit these 10 offenses to the holy name. So this kind of a healthy fear is very, very important if we want to, you know, actually become free from the Namaprad stage. In one of the conversations, one of the rishis asking, you know, out of, you know, like how Arjuna, you know, is trembling, Vepatusha sharire me roma harshasya jayate, out of fear. He's telling, oh, great sage, please tell me, what are those great offenses to the holy name of the Lord, by which, although, you know, the Mahaprasad of the Lord, the Archa Vigraha of the Lord, and the holy name of the Lord is so powerful, and yet, you know, they cannot experience spiritual ecstasy. What are those great offenses? Please tell me. So it is mentioned that the Mahaprasad of the Lord is non-different from the Lord, and it has such potency that it can conquer Maya. Jayami, aham tava maya, as Uddhav also tells in the Uddhav Gita. Just by your, remnants of your garlands, your prasad, tava bhoktavya, upabhoktavya, just by your remnants of your food, your garland, I can conquer Maya. This is what Uddhav tells. So we see that prasad we are every day having, but instead of our tongue becoming controlled, prapancha jaya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you can conquer this universe by taking Krishna prasad. But when we take Krishna prasad, our tongue goes out of control, especially when there are delicious items in the festival and all. We tend to overeat, and we don't feel that we have conquered the universe. So this is the great potency of the Lord's remnants in the form of garland or prasad, or directly the darshan of the Lord or the holy name. So what is that which stops to access the spiritual potency which is there in all this? So this is one Rishi who is asking. I don't recollect which Rishi it is, and it is there in some Purana. I can find the reference next time and tell you. And then it is mentioned, it is actually these 10 offenses. These 10 offenses which are mentioned in the Padma Puran, they are, such powerful that they block the pure spiritual potency of the Lord in the form of the holy name to manifest, by which, the devotee cannot experience. And the example is given of a powerful medicine, which although a diseased person takes, but because, according to Ayurveda, when there is a disease, the digestive fire is very weak. But although a patient drinks milk, which is like nectar, it is amrita, but still he cannot experience the, strength from taking milk and feel vitality and strength. Why? Because the deep-rooted disease in the stomach. Similarly, because of the deep-rooted disease of the soul in the form of these 10 offenses, the pure potency of the holy name, which we are chanting, we cannot experience that full effect. We just cannot experience it. It is because of these 10 offenses. Devotees, whenever they have question, they can raise their hands. Eka eka kari ami bolibe sakal aparade vanchi yate deho mora bal. I will describe these offenses one by one. Eka eka kari ami bolibe sakal. Please give me the strength to avoid these offenses. Aparada vanchi yata deha mora bal. Bal means give me the strength. Oh my Lord, give me the strength to avoid these offenses. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also in his beautiful bhajan, he prays, Sakale sammana korite shakati deho nata yata yata tabe to gaibo harinama aparada hobe hata. Sakale samman, give me the strength to give respect to every living being. Korite shakati, shakati means give me the strength. Deho nata yata yata, and I should respect every jiva according to his status. If somebody is a Vaishnava, I should offer respects to them. Somebody is a very advanced Vaishnava, I should offer dandavat. And somebody is a Mahabhagavat, I should offer full prostrated dandavats. So one of the greatest offense as Vaishnavas we commit in the association of Vaishnavas is we don't from our heart offer respects to every Vaishnava, because Vaishnava association is so easily available in the association of Vaishnavas that we take it very casual. So we should have this mood. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi saishanam amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Seeing a Vaishnava, we should be pleased. We should, express pleasure, abhinandanti, and we should become harshita. Oh, wonderful, I'm having the darshan of a Vaishnava. So even that is also kind of aparad, in fact, So that is why we don't actually cross this stage of Namaprad and come to the Namabhasya chanting. So this is the additional point which I'm describing apart from these 10 offenses. Now let us go to the 10 offenses. Now I'll not read this verse 6 to 8, but directly narrate what is there in the translation. The 10 offenses to the holy name are to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name, to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Ninth, to instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after hearing so many instructions on this matter. Now I will diligently explain these offenses. Now, after explaining the 10 offenses, sometimes in the Padma Puran or in the different versions of the Padma Puran, where is this, offense we say it is also offense to chant inattentively. Sometimes it is not there in the 10 list, but sometimes it is there. So in this list, which Haridas Thakur or Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quoting, it is not there, but it is explained in text 9 here. Namete anavadana hoya aparad tahake purana karta bolene pramad. Inattentive while chanting is also an offense. Anavadhan. The Puranas author says that anyone who carelessly commits this offense is a great fool. Tahake Purana Karta. The Purana speakers of the Purana say, Bolene Pramad. Pramad means it's a great madness. It is high level of madness. Pramad means madness. And that is why it is separately dealt. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Sri Harinam Chintamani is going to devote an entire chapter on this. Very, very important chapter. Chapter 12 will be Namaprad Pramad, that is inattentive while chanting. So that he is going to deal quite in detail, and we will look into that time. Now he also mentions another offense. Namere Mahatma Jane Tabu Nahi Bhaje Aham Mama Asaktite Samsarete Maje. Anyone who, even though he knows that knows the glories of the holy name, but remains attached to the conception of I and my, Aham Mama Asaktite, and does not worship the holy name. Na Bhaje, Namera Mahatma, understanding the glories of the holy name, remains plunged in the world of birth and death. Samsarete Maje. He gets drowned in the ocean of birth and death. So very heavy here. These two are dealt now separately. After understanding the glories of the holy name, one still maintains the conception of I and mine. That is also a great offense. So after describing this, text 11, this is only one verse. Text 11, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes the first offense, blasphemy to the devotees. Sadhu ninda pratamam aprada balijani ei aparada jivera hoye sarvahani. Now I will speak the first offense, blasphemy of the devotees. Because of this offense, everything the soul possesses is destroyed. Hey aparade jivara hoy sarva hani. So the hani is destruction. Destruction here in the form of the consciousness. his Krishna consciousness he loses because the soul cannot be destroyed. The body is ultimately the vehicle for the soul. So this is the first sadhu ninda. Sadhu ninda is the first offense. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts discussing from text 12 to 17 an interesting topic. Instead of discussing sadhu ninda, he starts discussing the qualities of the devotees and how actually sadhu ninda happens when we don't have this kind of knowledge. So first he presents that knowledge. Swarup or Tatashta Lakshana Bheda Sadhu Lakshanara Dvaya Vichar. The two qualities are of two kinds. The devotees' qualities are two kinds, Swarupa and Tatashta. How does sadhu ninda happen? Before that, he describes the qualities of the sadhu. And the sadhus have two types of qualities, Swarupa and Tatashta. So let us discuss this now. Sadhura Lakshana Tumi Baliyache Prabhu Ekadashe Uddavera Krishna Rupe Vibho. O Lord, now I will describe the qualities of the devotees. Qualities that you, as Lord Krishna, describe to Uddhava in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna himself has described the qualities of the sadhu. Now this is there in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And here is the verse from text 13 to text 16. So I will recite this verse and then take the translation, just so that we can focus on what these 26 qualities of a Vaishnava are. Dayalu Sahishnu Samadroha Shunyavrata Satyasar Vishuddhatma Parahita Rata Kame Akshuvati Buddhi Danta Kinchana Mrudu Suchi Parimita Bhoji Shantamana Ahani Ahina Dritaman Stira Krishneka Sharan Apramatta Sughambira Vijata Shadaguna Amani Manada Daksha Avanchaka Gyani Esaba Lakshinete Sadhu Bali Jani. A devotee is merciful, Dayalu, tolerant, Sahishnu, equal to all, Sama, free from hatred, Droha Shunya Vrata, Satyasar, truthful, Vishuddha Atma, pure at heart, engaged in acting for the welfare of others. Parahita Rata. Rata means to be engaged. Parahita means paropakar, that is preaching, compassion. He shows compassion to jivas by preaching Krishna consciousness. Then, not agitated by material desires. Kame. Akshubhita buddhi. The intelligence doesn't get, agitated seeing sense objects, and the intelligence doesn't pursue the mind and the senses. This is also the Sthita Pragya Lakshan. 2.53 of the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Shruti Vipra Pratipannate Yata Stasasi Nischala Samadho Achala Buddhi Tata Yogam Avapsyate. Samadho Achala Buddhi. The Buddhi is Achala. Chala means agitation. Achala means no agitation. The buddhi is not gets agitated seeing the sense objects. Not agitated by material desires is kame akshubhita buddhi. Whereas when we see or material desires come in our heart, or we see material in the form of sense objects, kama kami, we become kama kami. We become lusty to enjoy those sense objects. Whereas a Sthita Pragya Lakshan is na kama kami. And that is what is there in 2.71 of the Bhagavad Gita. Danta. Danta means he is self-controlled. Buddhi is also one, intelligent, self-controlled. Then Akinchana, not interested in collecting material possessions because he possesses Krishna. Mrudu, gentle. Srila Prabhupada said, my devotees are gentlemen. They are neat and clean externally also and internally also. Suchi, pure. Parimita bhoji. eats frugally, mitabhuk, as Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. Shantamana, sober, is peaceful at heart. Mana shant, he shant. Aniha, aniha means take shelter, or Shantamana, aniha, aniha is included, sorry. Dhritiman, Dhritiman means, oh, Krishnika Sharanam is here, Stira is there. I don't know how, peaceful at heart it is. Krishneka Sharanam is take shelter of the Lord, only of Lord Krishna. Sober and grave, Apramatta Sugambira, has defeated the 6 vices. Vijita Shadgun. So what are these Shadgun? Anyone can raise their hand and tell me which are the Shadgun. Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Love Muhammad Matsar.
Shadgun. Yeah. Any other answer? Any other answer? Anyone else? Anyone else has another answer? I'm seeing someone has raised his hand. Maya Narsimha Prabhuji. Yes.
These are the 6 urges which are mentioned in NOI, Prabhu. Vacho, Vega, Manasa.
Yes. The, Shadgun which are mentioned in Nectar of Instructions, Chaya, Dosha, Shami, Chaya Guna, or Chaya Shatasanga, so it refers to that also, definitely. Amanina means to give respect, to be prideless. Manada means to give respect to others. Daksha is expert and honest. Avanchaka and Gyani, wise. So these are the qualities. Devotees especially should make a very great effort to understand these 26 qualities. His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj has written an entire book on it, Vaishnava qualities. And each of these 26 qualities he has discussed quite in detail. But here this discussion is not there. It is just mentioned, but I would recommend that we should all read this book, Vaishnava qualities, the 26 qualities of Vaishnava. Okay, now Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions in text 17, Ei saba lakshana prabhu haya dvi prakar swarupa tatastha bheda karibe vichar. Oh Lord, these qualities are of 2 kinds, Swarup, natural, and Tatastha, borderline. Now I will describe them. So here is a footnote. The direct qualities is called Swarup. The other qualities which are visitors or guests are called as Tatastha. That is how Tatastha and Swarup is mentioned. Text 18 to 21 discusses the Swarup and the Tatastha Lakshan. Swarup Lakshan ay Pradhan Lakshan, Tad Ashray Tatastha Lakshan Uday hoy. The Pradhan or the topmost is the Lakshan of the Swarup, and all others are considered, as they take shelter of the Swarup Lakshan. The primary quality is called Swarup. The Tatastha qualities take shelter of them. The Tatastha takes shelter of the Swarup. Okay. Krishneka Sharana Hoya Swarupa Lakshan Tatastha Lakshane Anya Gunera Ganana. Taking shelter of Krishna is the only Swarup quality. Krishneka Sharanam Hai Swarupa Lakshan. All the other qualities are considered Tatastha. That means after going through this list, you might say, I don't have any of these qualities, 26 qualities. But definitely all of us as devotees have this one quality, that is Krishneka Sharanam. We have come to the lotus feet of Krishna. We are chanting Krishna's name. We have surrendered our lives to Krishna, although that surrender is not 100%, but we have began the process of surrender. So in one sense, even if we don't have these all 25 qualities, but there is one Swarup quality which we have, that is Krishneka Sharan. We have not taken shelter of the Devatas, but we have taken complete shelter of Krishna. Kono bhagya sadhu sange name ruchi hoy, Krishna name gaya kare, Krishna padashray. So how we, take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet? When by good fortune a person associates with devotees, becomes attracted to the holy name, Nama Ruchi Hoy, and chants the holy name, then he naturally takes shelter of the Lord Krishna's feet. So anyone who is chanting Krishna's name, he has taken shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. That's it. So we have this one quality, Krishneka Sharan. Swarupa Lakshana Sei Hoito Hoila. Gaite gaite nama anya guna aila. That is the primary good quality. Swarup Lakshana say hoita hoila. As he chants and chants the holy name, gaite gaite, the other good qualities naturally come to him. Anya guna aila. So the other 25 develop because of this one quality, Krishneka Sharana. Anya guna gana tai tatasta ganana avashya vaishnava de hoive sangatana. Other qualities, all other qualities, anya guna gana, are considered tatastha. They are tatastha ganana. They will also inevitably make their appearance in the body of a true Vaishnava. Avashya Vaishnava deva hoy sangatana. They will inevitably make their appearance. Now, let me ask you a question. Why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is discussing the Swarupa and Tatastha Lakshan? And what is the reason we commit Vaishnav Ninda? Based on this discussion only about the Swarupa and Tatastha Lakshan, what is your understanding up till now? Raise your hands. I want to keep it interactive so that anyone else, of course, Vasant Naik Prabhu also had answered the question. He had put it in the Atyahar, he had said. So that was correct. Sorry, I could not acknowledge that. So there is 2 hands raised. How do we commit offenses based on this discussion of Swarupa and Tatastha Lakshan? Anyone would like to answer? Maya Narsingh Prabhuji, I'll give Birendra Yadav Prabhuji this chance. Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, generally we see the Tatastha Lakshan in our devotees, and based on that we try to judge and we commit a lot of offenses. We don't see
Yes, perfect.
like this characteristic we don't see.
Yes, because we see the Tatastha Lakshans, the bad qualities in the devotees, we don't see those good qualities in those devotees, and we see faults in them only in the Tatastha Lakshan, and we criticize Vaishnavas, and that's how we perform Sadhu Ninda. Sadhu Ninda doesn't refer to only committing an offense to a Mahabhagavat who is doing preaching. Any Vaishnava who has taken up to Krishna consciousness is a sadhu. Right from a neophyte, new beginner. Today he has started chanting, he's a sadhu, and if we criticize, it is sadhu ninda. Based on the level of criticism of who that Vaishnava, the gravity of the offense is that severe. So this is how detrimental it is that we see the Tatastha Lakshans. Because we ourselves lack spiritual vision, we cannot see that he is Krishneka Sharanam. Because to see that, you need spiritual vision. And because we don't have that spiritual vision, we see these external qualities, the Tatastha Lakshan, and we find faults. And that is why we commit Sadhu Ninda. Maya Narsingh Prabhuji, you have to add something.
Same thing, Prabhuji. I just wanted to say that though a devotee may take into devotional service, but because of his swabhava, drishtai swabhava janiter, so that swabhava may not have changed immediately. So, but we focus on that part, as Prabhuji has rightly said, and we will forego this point that he is surrendered to Krishna.
Yes. Drishte swabhava janita vapushya na prakritam iha bhakta janasya pashet. So this is the warning, severe warning given by Rupa Goswami in NOI text 5. And I discussed Swabhava Janita Vapushya. So I explained that there is the gross material vision. We see defect in a Vaishnava, or he is, a black-bodied Vaishnava. He's an African Vaishnava. He's a white-skinned, Vaishnava. So this is how we discriminate. This is also offense. And Swabhava means the nature. We see the nature of, the Vaishnava, that is his conditioning. And based on the conditioning, we commit offense. Oh, he has this fault, that fault. So this is subtle vision, mental vision. But we lack spiritual vision to see that soul is engaged in Krishna service. He's surrendered to Krishna. And because of that, we commit offenses. So this is most important for us to understand. We should humble ourselves and say that we lack spiritual vision. And, why I should, when I lack spiritual vision, I cannot see. My vision is itself defective. And that is why one of the sannyasi statement I deeply hold in my heart. The reason I see fault in Vaishnavas because these faults lie in me. If these faults are not in me, I cannot see those faults in others. Yudhishthira Maharaj always saw Duryodhan as a saintly person. He never addressed Duryodhan as Duryodhan. He addressed him as a Suyodhan. That was his name given at his birth. Even Uddhav addresses in the third canto as Suyodhan only. He never sees that fault. So that is a pure spiritual vision. And because we lack that, we see faults in others and we commit Vaishnav Aparadh. So this is a very important discussion which is going to begin now. It is because of Swabhav, and now Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the next verses he will start clarifying about it. There is one more question by Sharmishta Priyadarshini. Yes, Mataji, you can ask the question. What is your name here? But I cannot unmute until I know what is your name here. Some Gaura? Yes, Mataji, you have a question? You can raise your hand, please. Okay. So any other questions anyone has? Okay, Maya Narasimha Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can you kindly clarify this Tattva Vyavadan and Varna Vyavadan that comes under Sanket Namabhas, Prabhu? I just got confused, Prabhu, because you did not describe that in the chart.
Varna Vyavadan.
Varna Vyavadan and Tattva Vyavadan in the form of chanting the syllables.
In the previous chapter, what was that? Huh? In the second
yes.
chapter. Varna Vyavadan or Tattva Vyavadan. So these two types of disruption, they are part of Namabhas chanting only. And, in Tattva Vyavadan, this is the Mayavadis. They, try to separate the holy name from the Lord. There is one explanation, beautiful explanation I heard, that one Mayavadi sannyasi in his lecture, he was telling, oh, these Hare Krishna people, they chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And they feel ecstasy in their chanting. Actually, that ecstasy is not coming from the holy names. While chanting, between the Krishna and the Rama, there is that gap. And that gap, is giving them ecstasy. So that shunya in between, there is nothing, void, it is void between Hare and Krishna. So this is the kind of explanation he was giving. So definitely the Tattva Vyavadan comes in the Pratibimba Namabhas chanting. There is no doubt about it. And the Varna Vyavadan is separation of syllables. And that is also because not taking up the name, properly. and you're trying to separate, that time also there is a the potency remains, but you cannot fully experience the purity of the full power of the holy name. But the first disruption, what he had mentioned, that is aparad, in the form of aparad, was to separate Krishna from his holy name. So that is a Vaishnava aparad. That is aparad. That comes in the category of aparad. But the disruption in the form of Varna Vyavadhan and Tattva Vyavadhan, they happen because of, and those come in the Namabhas chanting, especially the Pratibimba Namabhas chanting. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Okay. Any other question anyone has? I don't want to begin the next theme because it is around 10, 12 verses, and I want to take it next week only. From here on, the discussion, I think we are very clear after discussing the Swarup and Tatastha Lakshan. Everyone is very clear about it. So we will begin our discussion next week. Yes, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. I have unmuted you. No, your audio is very, very poor. You will have to type your question, please. I'm muting you back. Krishna Priya, Jasmine Mataji has a question. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You said that, we find fault in others because we ourselves have faults in us. Yeah, so this is one aspect, this is one angle of looking at the thing. But in case of higher authorities like very elevated brahmachari or sannyasis, so when they see somebody is committing any offense, so it is very easy for them to identify. So in that context, this cannot be applicable to them, I feel. Is it?
Yeah. In the case of advanced devotees, even if they are, there are different levels in that. I did not go into the levels. There are very, very high levels in that levels of understanding of, finding faults. There is one, I'll explain few levels in that. There is sadhu, sadhutara, and sadhu tama. A sadhu means he sees that there are, good qualities and bad qualities. And he doesn't focus on the bad, he focuses on the good. So this is, how their vision can be. But I explained the highest vision of a sadhu tama. He sees that there are good and bad qualities, but his mind doesn't focus at all at that bad qualities, but it only goes towards the good qualities. Absolutely. And this is the topmost, sadhu. Absolutely, he cannot see anything bad quality at all in anyone. Although he might be filled with all bad qualities, but he will see only good quality in him. This is very, very difficult. Just like Krishna, as he was lying as a baby, and when Putana came in, Putana, what quality she had? She had filled poison in her breast. And she had come to kill Krishna. And how is Krishna seeing her? Krishna is not seeing that, oh, she has come to kill me. But Krishna is seeing what? Somehow she has this motherly affection. That one small, fine quality. For a moment, when she saw Krishna, she felt motherly affection, Putana. And Krishna only saw that, and he completely did not see anything else. He just closed his eyes, Krishna. So this is the quality of that sadhu tama. Srila Prabhupada once in 1965 or 66 was giving a lecture in his first temple, that is the 26th Avenue. And there were all hippies who were coming in. And one of the hippie just barged into the room, creating a tumultuous sound. He was highly high on drugs. He just came in and started yelling, shouting. He was not able to walk. He was trembling, and he was about to fall. All the devotees turned and they were looking at him. Srila Prabhupada was silent. He had to stop his lecture. He somehow, just went into the bathroom and, what is this, tissue paper. He just took a tissue paper roll, set it in, and then he went out. And Srila Prabhupada waited till this devotee went out and then started glorifying this devotee. See that he is doing service to Krishna. He's doing service to Krishna. This is how Prabhupada was saying that he's not high on drug, he's not able to walk. But Prabhupada is seeing that one quality that, that Jiva is having the propensity to serve Krishna. So he saw that, It was once another lecture Srila Prabhupada was giving at the same place. And when Srila Prabhupada started his lecture, a hippie was high on drugs and maybe intoxicated and lying on the road, completely unconscious. And Srila Prabhupada told one of his devotees to get him in. So two devotees had to pick him because he was lying unconscious and get him in and keep him inside there. He was unconscious. He was in that state. Prabhupada started the lecture, and entire lecture he was unconscious. After Srila Prabhupada finished the lecture, he said, now you can take him back and put him on the road. So Prabhupada knew that his transcendental sound vibration, although he's in an unconscious state, will penetrate because it is a spiritual sound and it will benefit that jiva. So this is the kind of compassion a sadhu tama has. So this is what, I was explaining, that within the sadhus, these are the categories, and somebody might see the faults, but he will focus on the good quality and try to protect that devotee in order to encourage him. But, sadhus are who, they see the good quality, they see the bad quality, but they focus on the bad. So this is a sadhu. And then there are these, again, levels. I'm trying to do some research on that. There is one discussion which Prabhupada had with Shyam Sundar and brings out these different kinds of visions, which, we can have. And he has explained this: to see the good and the bad, focus on the bad. To see the good and bad, neglect the bad and focus on the good. So like that, Prabhupada has given this, So I explained from that highest level of the sadhu tama. Yes, advanced devotees have, proper vision by which they see the faults, but they will focus on the good. So this is how even in advanced devotees, these different levels will be there. Is it okay and satisfactory to you, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. So for us to practice this kind of vision, it will take a very long time, and it has to be done by practicing on a very long term. Okay.
It is a matter of internal vision which develops with the practicing of chanting the holy names and developing a right attitude based on our understanding of Shastra. Slowly, at least we should come to the vision of the sadhu, that although we see the good and the bad, we focus on the good. At least this level we should come to. And Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions that, in one of the first Adi Leela, when the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explained about one devotee, he was a dosha darshi. A dosha darshi means to see or vision. A dosha means no faults. He could not see any faults in others. That is the darshan. That is the highest darshan. But at least we should come to the level of sadhu, where we see good and bad, but we focus on the good. And this will come with, chanting the holy names having the right attitude, and having the right understanding of the darshan philosophy by hearing and discussion. That's how it can happen. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, any other questions anyone has? Time is up now. Next week, we will go more in detail. This is one of the most severe offense, and this is one we should work on. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur doesn't give any techniques. He gives the right understanding and the right attitude how what should be developed, and that's how the philosophy is evolving in Harinam Chintamani. Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, you can speak. I think there is some problem with the audio on your side. Maybe you can record your question and send it on the WhatsApp. So there are no other questions, so I will stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Shri Harinam Chintamani ki jai. Hare Krishna.